we will discuss SAP Lumira in this session. So first of all, what is SAP Lumira? It is formerly called as SAP Visual Intelligence. It is a self-service solution which will allow our data analysts and decision makers to access the data from various data sources and then transform that data as per the requirement and then to turn that data into visualizations or the storyboards. So SAP has announced the rename of Visual Intelligence to SAP Lumira on May 10th, 2013, and the two reasons behind that were to provide the tight integration with SAP's Cloud BI platform. So we have SAP Lumira Cloud, and the second reason was that SAP Lumira is a more human friendly yet search ready name. So these are the two reasons because of which SAP has renamed Visual Intelligence to SAP Lumira. So the latest version of SAP Lumira is 1.25 and it got released in April 2015. So we will be targeting this version in our session. Then these are the some of the capabilities which SAP Lumira is providing to us. First one is it will enhance the data manipulation capabilities with better merge functionality, replay manipulation steps and improved formula editor. It will provide the extended acquisition to more data sources and support the different data formats during that acquisition. Third, it will empower our end users to customize the charts, add additional conditional formatting, and then create the simple user defined views without knowing the technical language or the coding scripts. Then the last one is that it will allow them to share the results at a click of button, whether on premise or on the SAP Lumira cloud. So we have three flavors of SAP Lumira available right now. First one is the Lumira desktop, which is a thick installation and it requires the Lumira software to be installed on your system. Second is the Lumira cloud. So all the data sets which we create using the Lumira desktop, we can export them and publish them to the Lumira cloud so that the users can access these datasets from their mobile devices via the SAP BO mobile app. Third one is the Lumira Server. Lumira Server is basically a HANA Access application and we need a HANA deployment to use the Lumira Server. So basically we cannot make use of Lumira Server until unless we have a HANA deployment in a landscape. So all the datasets, stories, visualizations, whatever we create using the Lumira desktop or Lumira cloud, we can publish them to the Lumira server so that they are available to all the users who are using that server. We will be using Lumira desktop in most of the part of our session. So now, as I said, that Lumira desktop is a thick client. So first of all, we have to install the Lumira desktop on our system. Once you have installed it, it will be available under the all programs. So you have to go to the start, all programs. Under SAP BI, you have the SAP Lumira. So once you will click on SAP Lumira, so the tool will open up and the first screen which you will see will be this. So on the middle screen, you can see that we have the option of creating a new document. We have a live chat also option available if we want to connect to the SAP support team. Then we have the different solution samples available if we want to make use of the existing samples which SAP is providing to us. We have the link to the Lumira tutorials, Lumira community, search knowledge base. So all these links are available to us on the home page of SAP Lumira. Then we have the top options, the main toolbar in which we have the file, edit, view, data and help. So all the functionalities which are available in SAP Lumira, we can go use that functionality by using this main toolbar. So under file, we have the option to create the new dataset, new document, and in the edit, we have the undo and redo option. Under view, we have prepare, visualize, compose, and share, which we will discuss in detail. Then in the data, we have the edit data source option, adding the new data set, combining it, changing the data set, removing it, refresh button. And under help, we have all the help available for the SAP Lumira. Now, in the left hand side panel, as you can see, we have home, which the options which we have just discussed. Then we have the my items. So say if I have created certain data sets or the document or visualization stories, so all those documents and stories which we have created, they will be available under my items. Then the third one is the SAP Lumira Cloud. So SAP Lumira Cloud, we can log in directly to SAP Lumira Cloud from Lumira desktop version. So once you will click on the SAP Lumira Cloud, it will ask you to log in, and so that you can all publish all your data sets which you have created using the Lumira desktop version to the cloud directly. Then we have the SAP Lumira Team Server. So this is the new functionality which got added to Lumira 1.25 version. So what will happen to SAP Lumira Team Server is that it is enabling the Windows AD authentication with SAP Lumira. So now you can import your all users which are available in Windows AD, and you can use the same authentication mechanism for SAP Lumira as well. So once you will click on SAP Lumira Team Server, it will ask you for the username and the password. For the authentication type, you can select the Windows AD as well. So it will import the user which is available in Windows AD, and it will authenticate that user using the Windows AD authentication. Then we have the SAP BI platform. So this is also the new functionality which is added to the latest version. So SAP BI platform is to provide the integration between SAP Lumira and BI platform. So now you can create or modify your data sets which you have created using SAP Lumira desktop version directly into the SAP BI platform. So what you can do is you can create your data sets, you can create your visualizations using the desktop version. You then save it to the BI platform directly, and you can open it from there as well. So similar to any other reporting tool, if you want to connect to the SAP BI platform, you have to provide the server name, the host number, and the link to your SAP BI platform. Then you have to give the username and password. Then is the authentication type. So we have all the authentication options which are available to us in SAP BI platform here. So the users who are having any type of access to BI platform, they can directly log in and they can export their datasets or import their datasets from BI platform as well. Then we have the connections option. So connections is a like when we go to this connection tab, we will have all those connections which we have used till now in the Lumira desktop. So basically it will preserve the recently used connections, and if we want to edit any of these connections, we can directly do it from here. Then we have the link for try with samples. So we have multiple samples available in Lumira. So if I click on this try with samples, it will provide me the list of samples which SAP has provided to us using SAP Lumira. So all these samples are provided to us by SAP. So say if I don't have any data source available to me right now and I want to make use of SAP Lumira, I want to make, might be for my own learning, so I can make use of these samples for as a data set. Now the first step to create a Lumira document is to select this new document. As soon as you will click on the new document, it will provide you all the data sources which you can use in SAP Lumira. So we can use Microsoft Excel, text, copy from clipboard, connect to SAP HANA, download from SAP HANA, Universe, query with SQL, and connect to SAP BW as a data source. So we will cover each of them one by one. So first of all, I'll make use of Microsoft Excel. Now, if I want to create a new data set using Microsoft Excel, I'll just click on this. In the right hand side window, you will be able to see all those recently used data sources as Microsoft Excel. If you want to choose any of the pre-used data sources, you can do it from here. Else, click next. Now it will ask you to specify the file which you want to make use as a data source. Now I want to make use of this Best Run Corporation retail file which is available at my desktop as my data source. I'll just select that file. I'll click open. Now what it will do is it will load that data file into my window, and it will take the dataset name as the name of that file, name of that Excel sheet. Under files, it will give the path of that location from where you have selected this data source. Then this is the sheet. Why it is providing the drop down is, so say I have one workbook which has multiple sheets inside it. So it will show all those sheets available in that workbook in this drop down. So you can make use of any sheet out of them. Then we have the table header type. So by default it is taking the standard table, no transformation. But say if you have the cross tab in your data sheet, so you can select the cross tab as well. So depending on your data set, depending on your data source, you have to choose whether it is a cross table or it is a normal standard table. So since I have the standard table, I'll again go back to the standard table and I'll make use of no transformation. Now what SAP Lumira has done is, it has taken all the columns which were existing in my worksheet and it has converted them as a single column for each column available in my data sheet. So I was having the category, line, city, country, date. So all these columns were there in my Excel. And on the right hand side, it is showing that we have the 15 columns and we have 16,317 rows. Now this select all option is like, say I have 10 columns in my data sheet and I want to make use of all 10 in Lumira. So what I will do is I will just click on select all. But now if I don't want to make use of all the columns which are coming from my data source and I want to choose few of them, what I will do is I will deselect this select all option, and from this checkbox I can only select those which I want to make use of in my SAP Lumira tool. So say I want to make use of only these. Now you can see that all the remaining which are available in my data sheet, they will not be getting imported into SAP Lumira. Now we have the advanced options. So what is in the advanced option is, so first of all we have the range selection. Now say I don't want to make use of all the rows which are coming from my data set, but I want to specify certain range. So I can do it from here. I can select the range. I can click on the custom range and I can provide that range here like in B3 colon N18. So the range which I want to select from my data set, I can specify that range here. But since I need the whole data, I'll go to all and it will again load my Excel sheet. Then we have the option of like, do we want to show the hidden columns or not? Do we want to show the hidden rows or not? Do we want to detect the merged cells? So as per the requirement and as per our data set, we can select or deselect all these options. So once you are done with it, once you have added your data set and specified all the properties, you have to click on create. Now you are in the report design area where you will be actually designing your SAP Lumira storyboards or visualizations. So there are 4 major steps in SAP Lumira document creation. The first one is the prepare tab. So as soon as you will select your data set and click on create, you will be in the prepare panel. So what you can do here is you will be able to see all those columns which you have taken from your data set here. Now if you will scroll to right, you will be able to see that you have only those columns which you have selected from the dataset available to you in SAP Lumira to make use of that dataset. Now on the left hand side, what it has done is it has automatically divided the columns which were coming from my data source into dimensions and the measures. So all those columns which are having the alphabetical like values, so it has taken them as the dimensions, and the all those columns which are having the numeric values, it has taken it as a measure. So I have the category, city, comments, all these coming under the dimensions, and all the like the measure values like the discount, gross margin, number of issues. So all the numeric terms, they comes under the measure. On the right hand side menu on this top, you will be able to see the grid view of your data, or you can see the facet view of your data. So now, since I have clicked on the facet view of my data, so what it has done is it is showing me that what are the unique values for each column and how many time it occurred in my database. So say if I take the example of this category, so it is showing this all these unique values are available in my column category. And this 575, this is the occurrence of my two pocket shirts row. So for this category, we have 575 rows in my data set. So this way I can toggle between the grid view and the facet view. Next, we have the show and hide column in grid and the facet view. So depending on a requirement, we can show or hide column as per our requirement. So if I click on this, I have all the columns available which are coming from my data set. Now, what I can do is, if I don't want to see all of them, I can deselect and select only those which I need. Then click on done. So this way I can show and hide my data which is even available in my SAP Lumira. Then we have the calculations. So say if I want to create certain calculations, like whether on a dimension or a measure, I can do it from here. Then we have the combined data sources. So say if I have taken one data set from Microsoft Excel, but in the same document I want to make use of another data set, I can make use of this combine option. I can use either the merge or the append. So we will be covering this in the later sessions, like how we can merge the data set, how we can append the data set. Then we have the refresh the document data. Now say if my data set is coming from some live data source, like might be it is a universe or a BW query, and I want to refresh my data, like I want to see the most latest data which is available in my data source. So anytime I can click on this refresh document data and I can get the latest data in my Lumira document. Then we have the undo and the redo options. So this way we can prepare our data before we actually go into the visualization. Now once we are done with the preparation of our data, the second step is to create the visualization. So we will go into the visualize tab. This is the place where you will be converting your data set into the visualization form, like in the form of the charts. So on the left hand side, you will be able to see all those measures and dimensions which were available in your prepared panel. Same way, you can get the dimensions and measures in your visualization panel as well. Then we have the types of charts which are available to us in SAP Lumira. So as you can see, we have bar chart, column chart, stacked bar chart. Similarly, we have the line chart, area chart, pie chart. So we have n number of options and a huge variety of charts which we can use in SAP Lumira. So these are the geographical charts. Same way we have the scatter charts, and we have different charting options like the map charts. So we can make use of any of them as per the requirement. Then we have the x-axis, y-axis and the legend colors. So from here we have to select our measure value which we want to show in the x-axis, and in the dimensions we have to select the y-axis and the legend color. If I click on this plus button, it will ask me to add the measure value which I want to see on the x-axis. So say if I want to see the gross margin on my x-axis, and on my dimension I want to see the country. So basically I want to see the gross margin as per the country. As soon as I'll click on it, on the right hand side window, it will convert my selected values in a chart format. So I have selected this bar chart by default. If I want to change it to the column chart, I can directly do it from here. If I click on the column chart, it has automatically taken the input which I have provided, and it has converted that bar chart into the column chart. And in the below area, you can see all these visualizations which you are creating. So by default, it is saving, SAP Lumira is saving all these visualizations to your document. Now, if you want to create, you can create n number of visualizations here. If you want to create another visualization, you have to just click on this plus button, that is create new visualization. So this is a blank visualization right now. Similarly, as we have created the earlier visualization, I have to again select the x-axis. Now say this time I want to use the quantity sold on my x-axis, and I want to see the quantity sold as per my country. So this way I have created a new visualization, and now I want to see it as a pie chart. So I will just click on the pie chart, and it will automatically convert my my bar chart into the pie chart. So this way we can create n number of visualizations here. Now in the bottom, you can see that it is showing the number of rows which are coming from my data set, the number of columns which we are using, and then it is showing the refreshed time, like when whether this data set was refreshed earlier or not. So since we have not refreshed this data source, so it is showing as never refreshed. Now this bulb icon which you can see here, it is for creating the related visualization. So what SAP Lumira is providing to us is, so say we have the related, I have selected the data set, so it will propose certain visualizations which are more meaningful and which can be useful for the user. So depending on my data set, I can see the default visualizations which I can use. So since I have clicked on this related visualizations, it is showing that we can show the discount by country, gross margin by country, quantity sold by manager. So same way we have multiple visualizations which SAP Lumira has created by default depending on my data set. I can make use of any of it. I have to just click on it, and it will show me that. So say I have selected this one, discount by country and by manager. So I can make use of this visualization as well in my document. So basically when we say document in SAP Lumira, the document is a combination of the data set, then the visualizations and the stories which you have created on that data set. And when you will export this document, it will save the file as extension LUMS. So whenever you import that LUMS file anywhere, whether it in a cloud or in BI platform, it is a part, basically it is containing three subsets, that is the data set, then the visualizations and the stories. So this way you can create the visualizations after preparing your data set. Now the third step is the compose. So compose is the area wherein you will be creating your stories. So I can compare the stories with my Microsoft presentation, wherein we have the sequence of slides in the order of providing the information. Now I can when I am in a compose panel, I can give the name to my story. So say I want to give it as a demo. Now it will ask me what kind of storyboard I want to use, whether it is an infographic, whether it is a board, or whether it is a report. So say I am using the report by default. I have to select the type of it, that is blank. Then I have to click on create. As soon as I will click on create, it will show me all those visualizations on the left hand side which I have created in my visualize panel. Okay, so all the visualizations which I have created in the visualize room, they will be available to me on the left hand side. I can make use of these visualizations, like I can drag and I can drop it on the storyboard. So this way I can add multiple visualizations into my storyboard. Then we have number of pages, like as I said that we can compare the storyboard with the Microsoft presentation. So since we can have n number of slides in my Microsoft presentation, similarly we can have n number of pages to my storyboard. So now say if I want to show only this presentation, only this visualization on first page, then I want to like go to the next page. So I have to click on this add page. Again it will ask me what type of page you want to select. Now say infographic, board and report. I am again selecting the report. Now you can see that we have two pages now. I can go to the previous page from here, and then on the page 2 I can drag my second visualization. So this way we can have the slides kind of thing, and we can refresh it as well. So it is basically like we are providing the presentation to the user which is having the most latest data. So this is how we can create a storyboards. So with these visualizations I have the options to add text, pictures, input controls, pictograms, shapes to my storyboard. Then we have the share room. Now once we are done with like preparing the data set, creating the visualizations and composing our storyboards, now we want to share these visualizations and the stories with other users. So we can do it in the share room. So once you will click on share, you will be getting the options like how we can share the Lumira visualizations and the stories with other users. So we can either export it as a file, we can publish it to SAP HANA, we can publish to Explorer, publish to SAP Lumira Cloud, Lumira Server and the SAP Streamwork. So all these options are available to us in the share room. So we can select any of them as per our requirement. On the left hand side, it will show you all the data sets, all the stories and visualizations which you have created. So now you can see that we have created the demo story. So under stories, the count is coming as 1 because we have created only one story as of now. Then in the visualizations, the count is coming as 2 because we have created 2 visualizations. And the data set is only one, which is the Excel sheet which I have taken from my desktop. So this way we have one document which will be containing my data set, stories and the visualization. And as a bundle of all these three, I can export my document to any of these options. So this way I can create my stories, I can share it with others. This is the end of this session. So in this session we have basically demonstrated how we can acquire the data set, how we can prepare the data as per a requirement, how we can make use of the visualizations, and then how to convert those visualizations into a storyboard, and then lastly how to publish them to any of these options. Thank you.